8 minutes.
Hello.
Hello.
Look at
Hello.
hello.
Hello. Good evening.
It's All Hallow Eve. Hallows Eve.
Hallows. Yes.
It's All Hallows
Don't
Eve.
be egging our car or our house or nothing like that. Did you ever do that?
Hi, Jessie.
No, but I still have egg from last year when somebody egged my house. It's like burnt on
Hi,
the side
Dom.
of my side of my.
So, so it is one of my most. Hi, Beth Harper O'Brien.
Hi. Hey, how'd that happen? I went on the brew. Okay.
My favorite holiday. All right, we're just waiting for Rich to come on so we can split screen him. So while we wait, we're all Halloweening out. Beth is too. She just doesn't know it.
I don't know. Well, my
Hi,
hair
Sabrina.
matches her shirt.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Wait.
I didn't think of wearing.
Practical.
Maybe we got a hat somewhere. I have no hat.
And your shirt.
And my shirt. My
Halloween.
that's my tattooing.
And I got this, my scrub top on today.
She's got
And
her
my ghosty earrings. And my ghosty little necklace. Oh, Rich is there. All right, Rich, hold on. Let's get you on, buddy. All right, add.
Here, he says.
Oh, wait a minute. What's happening here? Hold on. Why do we always have to have technical difficulties? Here we go. I don't see him there.
Because we're women. Hello, three amigos.
Hi, Dan. Miss you. All right. Can you...
Joe.
Hey, Joe. Can you, say you want to join the podcast? There should be a way for you to...
Did you invite him? Bobby?
I don't have that on there. It's just Beth I can invite to go live. Wouldn't that
Does
be
he
weird?
not have a... Whoa, that'd be weird. Does he have an iPhone? Or does that matter?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see. See, I can't add you either. Oh, wait.
Did you do it last week?
Allow your viewers...
Now try.
All right, hold
They're
on.
coming, I think.
Hi, Dee. All right, so I just turned it on. So try again, Rich. There's Jossie. I see Jossie now. Hello, witches.
Good evening.
We're just waiting we're trying to get Rich on. There should be a thing saying for you to join the podcast or join the live video. I can add Dee if she wanted to come on, but we're trying to get Rich on.
Did he drop off? Maybe he's...
Going to come back on.
Angel, know what?
Hi, Angel.
Nope, it's not there.
It's not there. Try again. Angel's there.
Hey, Angel, can you use Angel?
Angel. Hi, Howie. Angel's there to invite on. Rich.
Yeah, Angel's on there.
Maybe it just has to connect somehow because it's slow at adding
She's
whoever's
off.
there.
Maybe he's going to go on her phone.
Wait. That's weird how it doesn't. It should have it where if you invite.
What's it say?
Hi,
Howie.
Send request.
It
says, would you like to be on Paranormal Brew live video? So right down here.
Yeah.
There's next to.
Try bottom right
writing.
corner to join. Yeah. Angel was on there to pull her on.
Yeah.
The request to join next to the thumbs up. Thank you, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Angel.
She was on there. Hi.
She's on there.
We're having technical difficulties.
Rich, what do you got, a flip phone?
I have this.
I forgot mine. Chuck made mine too. I forgot it.
Oh. Compliments of Chuck Sanders.
Yes.
All right. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
All right.
Where'd you go?
Add. Now you just have to accept.
Accept us, accept us, accept us.
You might have to move it. We might have to
I
sit
think
on each other's laps.
Yeah, usually it's on that. I don't know what size coming on.
I'm fine.
Well, to see,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
I can move here or something like that.
Well, let's see what happens.
See where he's at.
Connecting.
There you go. Oh,
Hey.
just right on.
Hold on. Let me scoop. Hold on. We got to readjust ourselves, Rich.
To get us all in.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, there we go. How about you can see
Wait,
like can you see a smidgen? What if you
That's
Yep.
all right. Yeah, probably if we move back further. Remember, we had 4 of us on when Frank was on.
I know.
There, that's better.
Is that better?
Can you hear us?
There. Now I see all of you.
Yay!
Welcome.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays.
Where are you at home right now?
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm home.
Okay. I see an Eagle shirt on. Is that it? Is that an Eagle
Is there
shirt?
another football team?
Don't ask this one.
As long as she's not a Cowboy fan.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what he said. He said, "Is there another football team?"
I
looked
didn't hear that.
Looked at Taryn and
As
giggled.
long, no Cowboy fans, right?
No.
Not here.
Okay.
There's some
Then we're good.
watching. There's some watching, but not here.
Yeah, there's some
Oh well.
So how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Busy.
Yeah.
Life is busy, but the whole work thing. I do enough different projects outside of work that, well, you guys know what it's like. Never seems to be a free weekend.
Yeah, that's true. But luckily, your love of your life loves doing this too. So you guys are together no matter what, So it's not like you have to have that struggle that some of us have, as to, yes, I want to be there, but I want to spend time at home too. You know what I mean? And that's a struggle. I mean, I know at least for me it is.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do everything.
Yeah.
But I also,
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, but I also, you know what I mean? Know I need to spend time at home and want to spend time at home, but you can't split yourself in two.
Well, truth be told, I'm not the one that got involved in this first.
Right.
Really?
I was actually probably 15 years ago. I was in the human resources office at work talking to a friend of mine, and she was talking about this class that was going to happen, Ghost 101. And the great thing about it was that you got to do a ghost hunt after. Well, this was around the time that Ghost Hunters had first started, and Angel was really into the show and that type of thing. And I gave her, picked up my flip phone, thank you. But I picked up my phone, I gave her a call, and I said, hey, you want to go, $60, $da-da-da-da. And we didn't have anything going on that weekend because we weren't involved in the paranormal yet. And we went to the class and found out that because we went to the class, we were part of this group. We went to a second class that was on demonology. Yeah,
this has to be who
well,
don't talk about.
We know that class that you're talking about.
yeah. Oh, no. No, it wasn't that class.
Oh,
But,
okay.
No, it wasn't that class. No, in fact, well, that's how we got involved in the beginning. But truth be told, we ended up leaving that group. There was a core of us of about 15 people that left because we caught them faking evidence. We caught them, well, he said that he trained Ryan Buell, things like that.
Others. Also, Jason Halls and Grant.
No, again, different person. But it was funny because at the time, it was the beginning of Paranormal State. I wrote Ryan Buell an email and asked him, and he said, I know the name only because he was reaching out for stories and places to film at the time, but it never, he said, if I had a dime for every person that said they were my mentor, I'd be a millionaire.
Oh wow.
But anyway, we went from that till about 3 years later. I ended up running a group and still do today. So,
What's the name of your group for those that are watching and don't know?
my local team is the Coal Region Paranormal Team. It's based in, surprisingly, the coal regions of Pennsylvania, Shamokin, Mount Carmel, Bloomsburg, that area. We specialize in residentials and that type of investigation. We want to help people. That's what it comes down to.
You know,
And, you know,
and that's not happening a lot anymore.
no,
Or-
it's not.
Yeah.
It's too much the excitement of the hunt, the how many blinky lights I can get going on, or that type of thing. It's gotten away from what we all got into it for, and that was to help people. And for me, it was I want to know what's next.
Right. Right.
You know,
I'm
that-
just doing private homes. I really do.
and it's a shame. It's a shame that the newer, I guess the TV generation, I'll call them,
Yes.
have lost sight of that.
Yep. Yeah.
There's a huge difference between what we see on TV and what happens with filming TV shows than what we do as investigators.
Right. No, it's so true. I mean, I've been watching some of the shows that have been coming out lately. So I'm just going to say, and I'm sure there's people out there that will disagree with me, but Ghost Nation is pretty good. I like how they're doing their thing. You know what I mean? And Ghost Hunters is good. I have not seen Paranormal Emergency yet, which I heard.
Neither have I.
So
Is that Paranormal 911?
Is that the one where they take stories from ambulance drivers and police and stuff like that for the calls that they get? And
is that
Marquis?
Yeah,
Marquis is real involved with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen that yet, but people have said it's good. But I never go by that. I always have to watch it myself. You know what I mean? Because you never know.
Sure.
And then I heard the Holzer Files is good.
I haven't seen any of them yet because I don't watch TV, unfortunately.
I mean, Angel and I caught the Hauser Files, and Dave Schrader does a great job. It really is done well.
Yeah, I have to see that. So, I mean, I have that big Hans Holzer book, the big black one that has all the case files in it, and and this and that. So I'm really interested in seeing the show, but
yeah. And we had the chance to know Schrader and Keys too, so it's pretty exciting to see these people on TV.
Yeah,
getting there.
Yeah, so I'm happy so far that Ghost Hunters and Ghost Nation are doing what they're doing, because like Ghost Nation has been residential so far from the ones that I've been watching, and they're working with local paranormal teams in that area. So they're meeting up with one. So like if they came, let's just say we had a case that we were working on, and we were, it was like something that we've been working on for a while, and we would reach out to them, and they would take one of us with them to investigate for the week. They're there for the whole week. The family gets out of the house. They camp in the house. They're there for a week, and they really help these people. So I think Ghost Nation is pretty good. Yeah. I like what they're doing.
How long when did Ghost Detectives start? When did you start with that?
I started with Ghost Detectives in season 4. 9, probably 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we ran up to season 8, and then we tried a different avenue for a year or two, and we just started filming season 9. Season 9, I'll tell you that the slug line is back to the basics, and we're not going to do the traditional haunted places. We're going to do residentials.
Good. Nice.
We just put out this week, Bob put out a notice. Basically, anybody that has, you know, has something that they haven't had resolved, want us to come in and investigate with the TV, the whole idea of filming it. That's what we're going to do. We're going back to what we all of the detectives have been in either lead a team or been part of a team, for years. And that's where we want to go back to.
So Rich, how do you guys, so when you put something like that out on Facebook, now that's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. Like with Ghost Hunters, Ghost Nation, all that stuff, you never really see anything advertised for, okay, come, we need help. You know what I mean? If you need help, let us know, right? So how do you separate the people that just want to be on TV?
I was thinking the same
or
thing.
who really needs help?
Yeah.
We've talked about that, and Frank, Bob, and I have all run teams or still run teams. And, the way that Cole Region always has approached is, number one, that phone call or that email, and where you get that initial story, and you build on it from that. The next is a questionnaire after the phone interview or whatever. And then depending on how much they balance and make sense, we'll take it to the next step, and that would be a face-to-face at the residence. And you get a pretty good feel for people and who's trying to make you Friday night's entertainment.
Right.
Or, I think we all went through that period in the beginning where we were hunting and I say the word hunting because that's what it was. We were hunting every weekend. But when I go back and look at the cases, probably 70% of them we wouldn't even touch now.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you have the questionnaires and you have so like, are you guys going to do like preliminaries, like go to the house prior to, yeah.
Yes, and that's the whole process. Ghost Detectives has always been unique because we actually film, it's an actual investigation, and we've always had the camera along with. We use the footage not only from the camera, but from the DVR or from, still cameras that we use. We've always looked at it as the fact that we're investigating and we're filming our investigation, and then put that together into a show. Probably why we've never advanced to that national level is because we've never gone outside that box of, this is an investigation. This is what happens, like it or not. And sometimes you have evidence and sometimes you don't. And when you don't, we've always looked at it as, this is our opportunity to talk about the equipment or talk about the theories that are out there, or those type of things. And we're going to continue that, but instead of doing it at places that we've done and overdone and redone, and we all know the location. And, nothing against those, because they're great places and they're great places to learn. They're great places for the novice to safely do things. But the interest that we want to project is that investigating is still about helping people and helping residences. That's where we're going.
And that was, I say it all the time, because that was why we started the brew. Because before, and I'm just going to say before Ghost Hunters and Ghost Nation, and not before the original Ghost Hunters, like the original Ghost Hunters was out, and then that died out, and then all these other shows started coming on that were just insane, and not what it's like at all, not what we do, not what we're here for, and not what investigating is even like, I was like, we need to have a show so we can have round tables, we can have people on that really do this for the right reasons and educate those that are going to put a TV on, have never done it, and are like, oh, I should do that. I should run around in the cemetery and say, oh, come and get me. And you're, this and that, and think everything's a demon and think everything's, negative. And, like, we need to put it out there, which is what you guys are doing, and educating that this is really how this is supposed to be handled. You just don't go into people's homes, especially people's homes, running around and telling them that, you know, you got to burn your house down because that's the only way you're going to get rid of anything and move or whatever the case may be, you know?
You're right, and like I said, that's one of the things that I really like. You were saying like Ghost Nation and the new Ghost Hunters. That's one thing that's really great about them is that they're focusing on that type of thing. They're focusing on the resolution or an explanation. They're not focusing on the spectacular or oh, look at that, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple of times where people have brought evidence to them and they've, I'll use the word, debunked it. Like they showed them, they say, listen, I know you thought that this was this, but this was what it was. We found this, you know, on both shows, you know what I mean? Like they've been, you know, really doing, and
well, that's what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
You
yeah.
know, it's
I remember people back in the day would tell me when Ghost Hunters first came out, they're like, I don't watch that show. They never find anything. I'm like, well, you're not going to find something at every single location you go to, you know, like they're showing you how it is. Like it's not, but they did get some good evidence. I mean, I can off the top of my head say some stuff, you know what I mean? That, you know, that we found, but that they found, but no, that's good that you guys are doing that.
I'm glad you're doing that. I'm
Yeah,
really,
me too.
really happy for that because then people really want to see and learn from
There we go. Back.
the
People.
real way and real people and real situations and even the way the emotions of the client too and even what we have to do prior to that. They need to understand that it's just not just running into somebody's house and, you know, looking at evidence, you know, doing this and that and then leaving. I mean, we have to do a questionnaire and a preliminary. They need to know this stuff.
Even a follow-up.
It's not a follow-up or
investigation.
people don't understand that, you know, basically we're 24/7. So if we have a client, you know, they're calling us or texting us at work and we're answering their questions, they're freaking out. I mean, people in this field are wanting to get in this field don't realize that you're basically on call 24/7 when you have a group.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good thing you bring up is, you know, the shows also don't handle clients, not Ghost Hunters or Ghost Nation. I'll just put it out there. Dead Files. I know everybody loves Dead Files, but I do not because I don't like how they handle the clients at the end of the show.
Me neither.
And you know, you're not just
stuff they say. Sorry,
I know that's what I mean. Even if you know there is something there that is, it's like you have to handle it. You just don't tell people, okay, this is what's here, and it's out to kill you, and okay, bye, see you later. You know, like you don't do that. You have to. There's certain ways you have to handle certain situations.
And I'm sure they do have to call and screen to make sure because someone was saying to me, well, how do they know every time they're in there it's all demonic? Well, I said, well, I'm sure they do the questionnaire and go out there and talk to them. They're going out there because it's demonic. It's not a regular Casper the Friendly Ghost case, but it just at the end, like you were Tara saying, regardless or not, you're supposed to be helping people. And one was on the other night and it was like, well, they're going to kill you unless you leave, and that's it. And then they leave them like that, and it's like.
And do you ever see the faces when I can't?
Yeah, I just don't. When you're supposed to be doing this spiritual work, helping people, I just don't know like how they get away with that. I don't know. I mean, I know there's the part of the public out there that love that because they don't understand and think, oh, well, that's cool. But really, people that really do it for the right reason, it's not really cool.
And like you said, when you look at how many investigations a team does, an active team, and how many of them truly has activity, or how many hours have we spent sitting in a basement talking to ourselves? You know?
Yeah.
And people don't see that because it doesn't make good TV.
Right.
And that's the fact. I mean, there's times you go and no matter how much research you do, no matter how much interviewing you do, these people believe they have the activity they have, and they may. And I always say, Spirits aren't like actors. They don't appear on stage on cue.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
Especially in a home, in a private home. You know, when you're in a private home, you know, you have no idea why the activity is appearing, to who it's appearing to, why it's there, what it's there for. You know, like, you know, it just, you can't just go in there all guns blazing and, like, you know, demanding to make contact with something you don't even know what's there for, why, you know. I mean,
Absolutely.
I always was taught, and I teach the same way, is that we've got to remember that most of what we're dealing with are human spirits, and they need to be treated with respect, just like we expect to be treated with respect. You don't know when you're going into a home, was this their home at one time?
right.
Do they even know that they're dead? Um, or are they just living out their life as it and normally is? And if you go in there, you know, demanding and throwing holes, your sanity too,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. That reminds me of, did you ever see The Others?
Yes.
Okay, right there. That's the perfect thing. The perfect example. Did you see that yet?
Trying to remember.
With Nicole Kidman?
Oh yeah.
There's actually there's an
that was-
older version that I thought was better
Really?
because
Oh wow.
yeah, that was Nicole Kidman did a great job. That was a remake, but
Oh,
I didn't know.
You're right. That was a remake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm old. You
What?
know?
Yeah. What was the original one? Because I don't remember.
It was The Others.
Yeah, but when?
It was called The Others, but it was
What
black
year?
and white, and
Oh,
it was because the difference with it being black and white, it was very distinctive, the light coming in or the light not coming in.
Gotcha.
You know, it made the contrast. It's kind of like the Wizard of Oz, the part that's color and the part that isn't.
yeah.
It was that kind of contrast. Um,
I'll have to look that
but
up.
the others, the others I didn't know.
But yeah, no, it's I love that you guys. I did see that announcement that Bob made, and I love that you guys are doing that. Now, does Angel do the Ghost Detectives with you, or does she? Is that?
No, she's part of the Ghost Detectives too. I joined in the 4th season, and she came on board in the 5th.
Gotcha. That's
And
awesome.
yeah, and before that, Ghost Detectives have been doing Para-Unity episodes, working with other teams, and that's kind of like how I got dragged into Bob Christopher's world.
And what a world to be in.
Yeah, but what?
Yeah,
One of that
1972.
group,
Thank you, Don.
that group that I used to belong with, we weren't allowed to talk to anybody in other groups or go to conventions or anything like that.
Yeah, I know.
We were in that
Yeah,
group, I think.
Yeah, I
different
know.
group.
Yeah, you're right.
But I had, I don't even know how I found out about NEPA Paranormal, but I was talking to Bob on Facebook, and we got to be friends. And after we broke away, he said, "Hey, you guys have anywhere that we could film an episode in?" And we did season 2, 3, 5, and 6 with them as a team. And somewhere in the middle of there, he asked me if I wanted to help film, and that ended up being on the show. And oh well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So things are going good there, and what I know that you've been. What events you got coming up? Were you just at the PA, the Central Con, the?
Yeah, I was just at the Central Con. Really, we're kind of wrapped up for the year. It's break time a little bit. Coming up, I announced a couple weeks ago Into the Light promotions and events, and I'm working with some smaller operations, smaller conventions, and I can't talk about yet. He'll make
Okay.
that announcement
Fair
soon. But I'm helping them. I'm helping them run their convention. Instead of going in and taking it over and running it, my way, I'm trying to help them down the right path. Um, I had worked and been a partner with Haunted Explorations, originally with Dave, Bob, and originally it was Bob and Dave, and then they brought me in as a partner, and then Dave and I did for a year, and then I took the last year and a half off and got out of the convention public hunt thing. But there's a lot of folks out there that have some great ideas and great events and just need a little bit of help. That kind of got started with the Mountain Gypsies. They run the gathering every year down in Tennessee. And we're working together to try and make that a better event for them. For us, I'm part of the Mountain Gypsies.
I wanted to get to you about that in a minute when you're done.
Okay.
I would love to go to town.
Road trip. Let's
Besides
go.
that,
Me too.
you may have heard of this small event, Phenomenology. You
Oh,
ever
yeah.
heard of it? Yeah.
Well,
Well, Dana approached me about finding a place in the Lancaster area for investigations. So Into the Light will be running the investigation at Boobies.
oh, that's
nice.
awesome.
I
At
got,
where?
I got a table.
Boobies Brewery.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Boobies was on Ghost Hunters.
Boobies.
Wait,
Season
weren't we
2.
just talking about that, Anthony? I think
What
we
were
were
we
just
saying?
talking about it a couple days ago.
You were talking about Boobies?
Yes.
Ah,
Wait, is this the one with the catacombs?
the catacombs?
Yes, we were just
Yeah, there's
talking about it a
catacombs,
few days ago.
dining room catacombs that are 40 feet underground.
Yeah,
Wow.
just
that's
talking
cool.
about this. Yes.
Yeah, there's an old hotel that's actually part of it. There's the original bar is still there. There's, stories of a lot of activities and things like that. Also, I'll be honest, that area is very difficult to find locations because of the Amish population. They don't look too kindly on ghosts and ghost hunters and
Oh,
things
really?
like that. Yeah,
Oh, so
But,
having phenomenology there is going to blow their minds.
it should. But Phenom will anyway. That's a great lineup that Dana has put together.
yeah.
I'm proud to say that I'm part of it. And
How
that,
much is the investigation there? How much is the investigation running?
you're going to have to look on the Phenom page because there's 3 different packages because we also tied a buffet dinner along with it.
Right.
I don't remember off the top of my head anymore. I'm old. I keep telling you that.
You're not old.
Rich.
But yeah, we tied together a buffet dinner if you want, or if not, just the investigation. And we're doing 2. We're doing one on Friday night and one on Saturday night.
Oh, cool.
We figured the folks that don't go to the VIP, it'll give them something to do. And, the Friday night is kind of a slower night anyway. So we
I'll be there doing readings. I got a table. I got a table all weekend doing readings. So it's
great.
I can't
Yeah.
wait.
Great. She's
Yeah.
I know she's almost sold out of tables.
Mhm.
Which
She's
is a
almost
good
sold
thing.
out.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Yeah, and I never been at Phenomenology, so I'm excited.
No.
Virgin, Rich.
She's a
See
phenom.
Uh-oh.
See that, Dana?
I'll tell you what, that is
Yes.
such a unique convention. I love the line where the paranormal family comes together because it's the truth. When at 2 and 3 in the morning, you're sitting in the lobby with 3
Right.
guys playing a guitar and singing songs from country to rock to ballads, and
Sounds like my favorite place.
it really is a great event.
It is. It is. I'm excited.
Shameless
That
plug,
it's,
by the way.
I mean, I'm kind of sad it's not in Gettysburg anymore, but I'm excited that we're having it again.
Yes.
Mm.
Gettysburg, Gettysburg's crowded with events like that.
Yeah, but it's still,
Yeah.
How far from Gettysburg is that?
it's Lancaster, so it's good, probably a good hour, hour and a
That's
half.
not too bad. I mean,
Yeah.
in case you.
So I want to hear the journey. You were in ghost hunting and things like that. And you still are, of course. But
Yes.
I want to hear the journey of how you became a healer, you and Angel with the Gypsies. I want to hear this journey that brought you to where you are now with them.
Well, I always grew up in a very, I'm going to say a religious family, but a very spiritual family.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, I even considered seminary and things like that. I kind of got away from it as I got older and life got busier and things like that. And it was actually, I'll be honest, the first time I saw the Gypsies was at the second Pennhurst, the original group of Pennhurst conventions that Bob, Dave, and I ran. They came in there, and I'm like,
Bob,
what?
and I.
Okay. But, I kind of met them there and didn't really, okay, Gypsies, healings. I wasn't really sure what that was all about. Ran into them again at Rolling Hills when we ran an event up there one year, and they kept wanting to talk to me, and I was kind of avoiding. And then it was Phenom when Angel went up for a healing, and it was such an impact on her that it was unbelievable. There was almost like a glow after she finished with one of the sessions.
Beautiful.
And it was Moundsville. I don't remember if it was the first or second Moundsville. I gave in and let them do a healing on me, and from there it's a feeling I can't describe, but it was like a rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the old feelings for God, for just trying to be a better person and do good things and help others and that type. So we started down the journey of the mountain magic and learning, the different lessons that they had to teach, and that was there's levels beyond 3, but Angel and I have gone through 1, 2, and 3, and it's made a significant change in the way I look at things. I think I'm always been an upbeat person, but there's nothing that bad.
Right.
There's nothing that bad that can't be managed.
Right.
With God's help. I mean, and I don't mean to get religious on people, but that's the way I look at things now. I work at a juvenile treatment facility, and some of my guys are not the best guys in the world. But I can help make a difference in their lives by showing them what it's like to do the right thing, to be a positive person, that type of thing. With Angel's had back problems, surgeries. She's disabled because of her back problems, and about 6 months ago they did a session on her, and for the first time in probably, I'm going to say 15, 20 years, she doesn't have any pain.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's awesome.
There's no pain.
Awesome.
Now, do you think that somebody would have to believe in that though, for it to be that significant of a?
I think they have to believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have to believe in the power of God, because the energy that we use to heal is God's energy. It's God's will. It's His power. He's just using us as the conduit. I think you have to have a firm belief in God, and that's one of the questions that we do ask is, do you acknowledge the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost? Because that is important to it. I've watched others have similar revelations. I mean, you want me to tell you that I'm a show me the money type guy, but and it took me a while to really take hold of it, because it's not something you can hold in your hand. It's not something that it's kind of like looking for ghosts. I can't prove it to you.
Right.
You have to believe.
I really wanted to tell you that that's why I asked you, because I think, meeting Kat, Tess, and knowing Dana for as long, and going on that table several times, and it definitely impacted my life too, with the things that they helped me through and dealing with. It changed a lot in my life and perspective of things. And let me tell you, one impacted me so much that, getting rid of some things that were with me, that really, I mean, this one over here knew about my struggles, dealing with those two things that I had issues with. They took it away, and they impacted me, and I knew that's what you were going to say. I knew that you were going to, once you got on that table and once you experience it, you understand the love that they have and everything they could give you, and now you're doing it for others too. And with the healing is just another completely different world. It's awesome.
The byproduct for me is it's made me a better person. It brought back a part of me that seemed to have gotten lost along the way in real life. It showed me, it's an old word, but agape, love for no other reason than the sake of being. And that's the way God loves us. And that's the way we should love each other, is for no reason at all than just because. And that, some people look at that as corny, but
I don't think it's corny at all.
But if we would practice more of that, and back to the helping thing, if we would practice more of that, that would just make us a better world and better people, rather than spending most of our life.
Think of all the people, like look at all these poor souls that just, they suffer from mental illness or addiction, or like my mom. I can relate, with Angel. I mean, but see, my mom wouldn't be the one to say, oh, I'll try that. Yeah, that could work. She would be like, that doesn't work. You know what I mean? So, like, she's had 3 back surgeries, and she just thinks that she's going to be in pain for the rest of her life. Causes depression, and it's just like, things like you can't make somebody, you know what I mean? Like, you can't make somebody want to try something,
Right?
Even if it doesn't hurt. Say it's not going to hurt. What does it hurt? Just try it. They still have to be like, okay. Yeah. They still have to have hope.
Yes.
They still have to have hope for it to work. If anything, there has to be a hope.
Sure, because it's like anything. If you don't believe in it, it's not going to take effect because you don't want it to.
Right.
Like I said, with Angel, we're talking about pain where she didn't get off the couch.
Right.
She couldn't do laundry. She couldn't stand at the sink long enough, to do dishes or anything. She couldn't. She could do very little because the mere movement was painful. our son, our youngest son lives in North Carolina. That 9-hour drive, the next day, forget it.
Mhm.
She couldn't move.
Mhm.
No more pain. I've been part of a few, I'll call them exorcisms, using the same kind of, and I mean, when somebody sits up with you and basically pulls 6 people up, and there's a voice coming out of them that you know that's not theirs, and Serena, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And just by the sheer power of God, it removes it, you know, and refortifies them and brings out the true spirit of what that person is. It's a life changing experience. A lot of times people ask me how that, does that conflict with the whole ghost hunting thing. I still want to help people. I think I've gotten more realistic about what we do as investigators. Taryn, you and I talked a little bit about it at Selma, and my main focus there, besides helping people, is getting the folks in our field to realize that we don't even know that the things we look for mean anything.
Right.
We're searching for that one thing that's actually going to prove that there's a spirit. Nobody can even, to this point, and I'm continuing to look, and Kenny is helping me look for where the idea of EMS being used by spirits comes from. Can't find it. Can't find where that idea first came from.
Right. Yeah. Like I was saying, I said, we call them EVPs, but what are they? The EVP is just the label,
right?
Because we don't know what it is. We're calling it an EVP.
Right, and phenomena we don't know. Yeah.
And in my heart of hearts, I believe that there are spirits. I believe that there's something after this. That's back to that. I want to know what's next.
Right.
But people have to be realistic about what we do. I love, like somebody was saying about, after the investigation, we go back and ghost hunters call it a reveal, but basically we go back and we always give them copies of anything we think we heard or pictures or whatever. And we do a written report, but never, ever have I said a house is haunted, because I can't say that. I can say you have paranormal activity, or on this night at this time you did or you didn't. But I can't, in good conscience, say any house is haunted, because I don't know for sure.
Right. Yeah. What does haunted mean?
Exactly.
Right. That's what I was saying. Like it's
exactly.
a label, that we've as a people have made up. That.
Yeah.
That's what we use. You know what I mean? It's just like, I can keep going. I'm like, is a cat really a cat? But you know what I mean? But
I like that. You have paranormal.
Wait.
Of saying telling the client the house is haunted.
Right.
Yeah. We don't know what that means.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I it's crazy, but, and I don't know if it's getting older, but like, and they know this, one of the things I struggle with is what's after, right? And I keep telling myself, I believe, I wouldn't be in this field if I didn't believe that there was something after. I know, and I've experienced a miracle, and it might be small to everybody else with my cat, but it was a miracle. So some way, somehow, he definitely had cancer, and then he didn't have cancer all of a sudden. So like, to me, that's a miracle. I don't know what else you would call that, but that's a miracle. And I prayed every night to St. Francis. I felt it. And I'm telling you, when the doctor called me and said, "Are you sitting?" In my 30 years of practice, I've never seen this. He has just a bone infection. It's not cancer. And we're like, awesome. What? I was like, I started crying my eyes out. I couldn't believe it. I thought, but So I have experienced things and I believe in things, but yet the fear of death scares me at night. It keeps me to die. Like I'm not going to be here anymore. You know what I mean? Like scares the shit out of me.
I think that comes back to your faith once again.
Right. So what? So like
Right.
then,
What you
but
believe
see,
in.
but
Right,
see,
we
there
can't
goes my
prove that.
circle.
You can't prove anything.
There goes my circle. They're like, oh
Yeah.
wait, so now I don't believe.
Mhm.
You know, then I'm like, great, now I don't believe. So what the hell? I'm going to hell.
Well, you're human, so it's just that fear. I think
Yeah.
it's more like how or when you're going to
Yeah.
die more than the dying process itself. I think
Well,
it's
because
how.
it's inevitable. You know,
Yeah,
it's
you
gotta
can't.
happen.
And when you're supposed to go when you're supposed to go, I truly believe that also. And then when you're not supposed to die, I think miracles happen
Yeah.
and you're supposed to be here. But when it's truly your time, I just feel like it really is your time. If not, that's when modern medicine, holistic medicine, or you have these miracles. That when
Well,
it says on paper you're supposed to scientifically from a doctor, and they say it a lot too. It's a miracle. You're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
You are supposed to be here, but yeah, and it was a miracle. Can we explain that miracle? No, but we just know that it was a miracle because I guess that
Yeah, but
comes
if
from
All miracles.
and if
Yeah.
it is your time, right? And it is your time. Let's say, like you're saying, your fate, your time, whatever. Like, I'd be catching an EVP of either one. You know what I mean? Like, if it's really your time
yeah.
and fate, like, are you still
Well-
here, lingering? Like, are you still here?
Well, I can explain this one experience that I've had because I've helped doing Reiki. I've helped people to cross over. I've helped with hospice. And this one client that I had, it was a year ago in October, the family invited me out there, and she was an elderly woman and she was dying. And I was at her house and they had a hospice. Because we know that, or we're taught, and I believe that the soul, the spirit leaves before the body dies. So she was laying there and the family was around and they were open to mediums and psychics. They were spiritual and doing the Reiki. And she was already talking to me in heaven. Well, in heaven, that's where I believe you go. She was telling me, and her body hasn't died yet. And she was telling me how she liked her hair, her favorite song. And I was relaying these messages to the family. And I never met the family before. So to me, that was one of the most fascinating times that I've ever experienced of what I do. It was just fascinating that she was able to communicate already and her body wasn't even gone yet.
That's amazing.
Blew me away. And all the work that I've done, with communicating with people who have crossed over and things like that. It was just like, she was talking about her ring, just a lot of things that she was talking about, and the family was open to it because that's a touchy thing, because you can't start that conversation with anybody, but they wanted to know that, what was she saying? And then she was communicating with me, and I just thought that was fascinating. Spirit never ceases to fascinate me. The only way that I can prove it was the things that she was telling me that I never even met this woman before or the family. So I thought that was pretty fascinating.
Same thing with animals too, because I was watching somebody pass, and right front and center was the cats and the dogs that I seen, and I didn't know what the type of dog, and I'm seeing the family coming in to enter to meet up with the passing, and there was the animal spirits too.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And they are
they're
there,
there,
and then
yeah.
the parents were there. The animals are front and center waiting, and I'm like, oh, so that's that. There was a dog. There's the German Shepherd. And they're like, oh, well, that's from the army. The German Shepherd from the army, and that's all the animals, and that's the Chihuahua. And you're like, okay, well, they're here.
Awesome. That means my babies are going to be with me forever, ever, till eternity.
But you were
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
you were saying about like when it's your time, and I believe that it's God's will.
Yeah.
It's even give you a perfect example. Another thing that happened Sunday, my mom had a stroke.
Oh, I'm so
Oh.
sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She was rushed to the hospital. Went had the MRI, everything else. We really didn't know where it was going to go because she lost both her parents to strokes.
Mhm.
So the family history was against her and all of that. My mom went home yesterday, and I mean home, the house. She's
Mhm.
going to she's doing rehab for her balance, and there's no discernible damage from
Awesome.
stroke on the left side of her brain. Uh, you know, and naturally I put the whole prayer
Yeah.
team into action, and asked the gypsies, and everybody responded. But you know, you look at something like that, and it wasn't her time. But all the prayers that I know I did was, if it's your will,
Mhm.
Yes.
because I truly believe that if it's your time, if God needs you
Right.
with Him, then it's your time,
Right.
and no intervention is going to.
Sometimes choose a little bit more humane way.
Mhm.
I mean, sometimes the way,
Well,
Yeah,
I think how you go is not up to God. God's there to greet you and take you when it's your time and God's will. Because you hear about all these horrible things that people do to each other, and that really has nothing to do with God. It has to do with us as
right.
humans.
Yeah, I'm not one about predestining. I believe that when your time, when God says it's time to come home,
Yes.
that's
He's
it.
calling you. You're going. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But and this is where I've often said, you know, I think nature abhors waste. And I can't imagine a bigger waste than all the memories, all the emotions, all the feelings, all the impact as a human being that I had would disappear like that. I just can't believe nature would allow that.
Yeah.
So that's why
Right.
I look towards a spirit, or the continuation of what is Rich, or Beth or Taryn,
Yeah.
is that it would be such a waste for it just to go away.
Energy doesn't die, so I mean,
Yeah. That's been
our
proven.
First law of
this
thermodynamics.
is gone.
Yeah.
This is gone, but it just
Yeah.
continues on. We continue on. We just don't have a shell.
We talk about the soul. We talk about being with God. Well, something has to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Right. It's fascinating to me. It's the universe is just so big that we're
Hmm.
never. The universe is so big that we're never going to understand everything, and I don't think we're supposed to understand everything.
No, but I also believe that God doesn't have anything against us being curious.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And I think that's why maybe I'm justifying in my head why ghost hunting, or investigating is okay, but I don't think God has anything against human curiosity, or else He would never have created it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's true. Even though we, as Catholics, we're brought up, oh, well, you can't believe in the mediums and
You
the
don't talk to
this
the
and
dead.
that.
You
And
don't,
and like, here I am. And here you
Well,
are, right?
you know, and that's why, I look towards, and spiritual gets a bad name to it too. But I grew up going to church every Sunday and going to Sunday school, and I mean, right up till Angel and I got married, and we raised the kids in the church and things like that. And it hit me one day, I don't mean one day, but over a period of time, just how political the church entity is.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And I really, I can't tell you the last time I was at church. I worship every day, but I I just have a problem with an entity that's supposed to be about religion, whether it be Jewish, whether it be Catholic, Protestant, whatever, and there's more about politics and more about who's the head of what and who's in charge of what. that's not what it's supposed to be about.
Right.
Boy, did we get off track.
Well, it goes hand in hand. I mean, you go from we got the scientific part about it,
Yeah.
helping people. It goes hand in hand with mediums
It all- yeah.
and psychics and healing and
It all comes into
especially
play.
when it comes
Yeah.
to like say negative cases and stuff. We're the healers and we the blessings, everything. It all intertwines.
It does.
It all intertwines and
true.
it creates a great balance because then you have the scientific facts, you have the spiritual facts, everything. It all comes down to the big balance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I think our conversation, like everything we talked about, was
All
awesome.
related, yeah.
Yeah.
All
I mean, the
related.
only thing I do struggle with, and it's only my inner struggle, was the only thing was God's will with the way my dad passed away. You know what I mean? But that's an inner struggle for myself because I really, honestly, if I had to like not think that was God's will because I struggled a lot with that. You know what I mean? And I, at one point, hated, and all this kind of stuff. I had to just say, listen, that was not.
Yeah,
Maybe
well, I
you-
could say with my brother too, but like I said, it's God's will too, and there's
But
nothing.
God's in all of us also.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
go ahead.
maybe you needed that struggle in order to be stronger, to help somebody else going through the same thing.
Yeah, I know, and like I said, people have said that to me, like, oh, and I have learned, like the way I am now, I
She's
know
better.
it's because of what I went through, but I still would rather be a shitty human being and have my dad here than have whatever happened happen. You know what I mean? So for me, I still struggle with that. So it's not anything. I understand. I get the God's will thing. I agree. When there's accidents and things that happen. I mean, but I still struggle with that. It's an inner struggle. But yeah, the conversation was just.
I understand what you're saying, not
Yeah.
to interrupt you, but it's how he died. So you know what I mean? It was God don't have anything to do with that. How he died. It was
Right.
just his time to go.
Right.
So
that's why I
that's
said.
why you need, yeah,
That's why I said, could he have picked a little bit of a better way?
better way for him to go.
Yeah.
But he didn't pick that.
Right.
I think you're getting. I think she's better, Rich. I'm trying to get her to understand. Like I know, like because I know people say, "Well, how can God let that happen?" He had nothing. He doesn't have anything to do with what happens to people. He really doesn't. He really doesn't. But when it's your time and he's ready for you to come sit, next to him at his big supper, then you have to go. But how we do it has to do with us, how we live our life, and
French fries.
whatever you want. He's got everything up there. Whatever you need. That's how I feel. That
Yeah.
and I'm still learning and growing. I'm never going to master what I do either, and so it's just I try to make sense of everything. Though I try to.
That's another thing about this field. Nobody's an
No,
expert.
nobody-
You're always
Oh,
learning.
thank you.
You're
Right.
always learning
Right.
every time.
And we have to talk to each other and communicate and get along and no paranormal drama. Like, it's not about, oh, I'm better than you or you're better than me or how you do something. There's no such thing. There's no such thing.
There's nothing wrong because we don't know what's right.
Right.
Exactly.
But
Right.
Sabrina, I respect exactly what you said about no expert. That irritates the hell out of me is when somebody will,
the ego and the paranormal.
Yeah.
Is
You know what bugs me when a medium says I'm 100% right, because that bothers me, because no, you're not. You're not ever 100%. There's no way you could be 100% all the time.
yeah.
You just
Well, don't speak for yourself, Bethy.
ooh,
You're awesome. You're awesome. You're always right.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, ego gets in the way when you say, "Oh, we're the best paranormal team. I'm the best psychic. I'm the best medium. I'm the best this that." No, you can't say that, especially when you're doing spiritual work, because nobody's the best. at this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel.
That's what gets in the way of that whole concept of para-unity, is that there is so much ego and so much on this, I do, you do this wrong, we do it this way, you should do it this. And you know what?
Yeah,
We don't know which way works the best.
exactly.
Right. And who says what's right?
I'm always learning.
Yeah, I'm always learning too, and that's what I say.
It doesn't
You're always
stop.
learning.
Yeah, I still don't know what my calling is in this field. And I don't. I honestly, I don't know.
I question myself all the time too. I do a healing this weekend, a couple of healings, and I question myself, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Am I supposed to be here? And then I do a healing, and they said, how did you know that? How did you know that that's what is hurting me? How did you know I have gastritis? How did you know this and that? And it's like sometimes I question myself all the time. And even with those confirmations, I still think I got to do better. I'm not good enough. I'm still learning. It's something, it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Well, I get the rude comments on, because
Who?
me. I get them. Today I had one because I'm an ordained minister. Okay, I don't practice in a church, but some lady was bad mouthing me on my website, on my site, Spiritual Healing Through Guidance, saying, "How dare you call yourself that? You don't belong to. You don't.
Who is
church.
she? Why is she?
How dare you?
Why
You're
is she
talking to the
trolling?
devil?
You're talking
I
to
don't
the
know.
devil.
I don't know. I don't know. And then I feel like, cause you guys know me. I get my healings. My feelings hurt really easily.
Yeah.
And then I know, but she turns.
I'm not going to now I'm going to go on your website.
But you know what I mean? Like I took it off because I'm like she hurt my feelings because I never see. That's the thing when I do this stuff, I don't have a certification. Like I didn't go to school. Like, well, I did classes, but I don't have a license or what do you call it? I didn't go to college. Like
You didn't go to a seminary, but
right.
and
then
I don't believe in that stuff though. I believe in faith. I believe in I don't go to church because that's how I was brought up as Catholic. My church is here. My church is right in here. My soul, my heart, and what I bring out, and my what do you call prayers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But hogwash on church and what,
But,
right?
Neither did Jesus. Neither did the disciples.
Exactly. He walked around. He went all different places. On rocks. There, here, there.
Yeah, he didn't technically.
Prayed on top of rocks.
You're right. He wasn't in a church. He wasn't in a chapel.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Rich. I'm going to use that.
Please do. But it's
and
the
then
truth.
who is she? Who is she to judge you?
We
They do. People do. They're rude.
or we serve by our example every day. Whether you're ordained or whether you're college educated or whatever, it's how we as individuals live our life.
Yeah.
I don't know a real college course in that.
No.
I don't. You can't.
No, I think
right.
a lot. I
It's
think
life.
a lot of stuff like, I know for myself personally, I am where I am right now because of everything that I've been through in life, and it's been a lot. So I can relate to a lot of people with different things. So a lot of people come to me to talk to me just about, like, out of nowhere. I won't talk to somebody for a year, and then they'll be like, "Hey, are you awake? Oh, this is happening," and and it's like, okay. And my boyfriend looks at me, he's like, "Why does everybody come to you with their problems?" I'm like, "I don't know." I was like, he's like, "You're always on the phone talking to somebody about what's going on." Like, and it's like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, but yeah, but I think it's just because, I just been through a lot of shit. So I think I missed my calling to be a psychologist, but here I am.
Or a counselor. You would have been a good counselor talking to people.
Yeah.
But you are a counselor anyway. If you're helping your friends or with their problems, or when we go out and we help a family, you are a counselor.
We wind up our calling. We wind up what we wanted to do when we were younger and what we thought we should be doing. We actually do it. It's just in a different way. Like if you wanted to be a doctor or a surgeon or whatever, you wind up being a healer in some sort of way. You're in the field some sort of way.
Yeah.
Psychiatrist,
Investigator.
investigator, a PI. You're doing it only in a different type of way. You're just helping people in their
Joe
homes
Kenda.
and things like that. It's just you knew what you're doing. It's just that your direction was a different. Same thing, but different.
I wanted to be
way.
Joe Kenda.
Yeah.
So I'm investigating, but I'm just investigating dead guys. He investigates. Oh no, he investigates dead guys. He investigates bad guys though too.
Oh boy.
Well,
Intense conversation, which is good though. It's nice. It was
yeah, that was
nice.
awesome having you on, Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a smorgasbord of stuff.
And I love being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you
So-
very much.
So your next thing you're going to be at is Phenom?
Yeah, I think Phenom's next. Phenom's next. I'm sure the Ghost Detectives will be out 1 or 2 more times before the Christmas
Hopefully.
holidays.
Hopefully we can make it to one of those things.
I know a guy. In fact, I know a couple of
It doesn't
guys.
take that long to go to see you again, Rich. March is a long ways, so hopefully it's sooner than that.
I'm sure it will be. We kind of run into each other. In fact, I was just thinking about it. It was Rolling Hills where I first met Beth.
Oh, okay. The first
You
time
were
I
in
went,
training.
yes, when I had to do my tests.
Oh,
Yeah.
Was I there?
No.
Now, Rich,
Yeah.
I think yours was a lecture, probably demonology lecture, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was that class. Yeah, that class.
That, yeah.
Hey, Rich, if I recall, do you remember we went out to eat and we were talking, and you were like, so what do you do, or what? And I said, oh, I'm a medium, and I asked you if you believed in mediums, and you were like, well, I didn't believe, or I don't really believe. You were saying something about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said,
Change.
I got involved because I knew Angel would like the classes,
Yeah.
and 3 years later, I'm running a group.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you still feel the same way?
No, I believe. In fact, one of the things Coleridge Paranormal does is we sponsor every month a educational program at a local library, and it's focused basically on the public. And either I do presentations, or like last week I had John Weaver from MUFON. He's the Pennsylvania Section 11 down in the Harrisburg area director. And I've brought in some Bigfoot folks, things like that. But we talk about all things paranormal. And I do believe. The problem is that I'm not sure what I believe in yet, or how I prove what I believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe that there's something after this. I believe in spirits, but I don't know how to prove that yet.
Yeah, I understand that.
But we'll keep searching.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah,
we
I'm
can do.
not a big I don't know. Again, I don't knock anybody that believes in the stuff, but I'm not a big cryptozoology.
I like it all.
UFO. No, it's interesting. Interesting.
You just never had experience.
The people that have experienced stuff and stuff like all that's interesting, but I just have never. I've never experienced anything like that, so I can't really say I believe in that stuff yet. I believe that. What?
I can't either. We did, in fact, Ghost Detectives, we did a Bigfoot episode with
I remember
with
that.
Eric Altman.
Yeah.
we had a blast. We learned a lot about what they do. Didn't find anything but a lot of cicadas. But it was interesting because they have their own methods and their own ideas, but they have the same problem we have. No proof.
Right.
We did do a Jersey Devil episode.
I saw that.
I saw that
you
one.
were in my neck of the woods.
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't think that one through real well. What we did is we started the episode with trying to track down the storyline with the Leeds family. We went down to the house, we went to the cemeteries, talked to people who had lived in the area for forever, got that whole thing back together, and then looked at each other and said, okay, what do we do now? Go out in the woods and wait for something to fly over us?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we didn't think that out too well, but it turned out to be a good episode. But it gave us an exposure to something beyond the ghost side of it. And it was it's another experience. It was another piece of information to add to the pile.
I think the Jersey Devil it started out as just a deformed child, and just legend and myth created it into this thing.
Well, the thing is it's supposed to be the 13th child, but genealogy records only showed that she had 12.
Because I feel like she was probably, like, back in the day, they used to disown.
Yeah, genealogy.
Yeah. They used to disown their children when they weren't normal, you know?
Yeah.
Could be.
So I think that she had a baby that you just put down there that just was so deformed and so, you know, and maybe somebody somebody saw it and and all of a sudden it had wings and claw feet, and you know what I mean? Like, just as story went on, it got worse and worse and worse. I don't know. That's just me being, just because I know there's people that have seen some crazy stuff in the woods. I would think that they were just like wrong turn people. I don't know about the Jersey Devil, but I believe.
I mean, I lived in Tabernacle, the Ward State Forest, Pine Barrens, most of my life since I was 11, and I never come across. I always felt eerie out there in the woods because all we did was go four-wheeling and burn couches. But I don't remember. I've never come in contact with the Jersey Devil or Bigfoot. So,
the forest. We went through the forest and we actually went down some of the little paths and all that.
Yeah.
And it looks like the Louisiana Bayou with the stuff hanging from the trees. And it's spooky. It's a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
So there was a question, really quick. I don't know if I really understand the question. But Brian Walters, he said, he or she, I'm not sure, what means or what does it mean? Excuse me if you think about something and for some reason you hear noises in the background. So I don't know if they're saying like if you think about your question. Unless somebody else understands that. I don't understand it.
I mean, is he saying he's thinking about something and then hears it behind him?
Brian, can you elaborate more on your question, please?
I mean, that's how we're seeing it,
right,
or thinking about it. I mean,
like almost like they're having like a premonition, and then like they're thinking about it, and then it's happening,
or they're thinking about it so much, and then they think they're hearing it because he's saying, well, maybe
could be either of those. It could be almost like telekinesis.
That's what I just said.
Where they create it behind them.
Yeah.
It could be imagination. I mean, our mind does powerful things.
Sure does.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that's the one thing. Oh, here we go. See, I can get myself all into this one too, because if like your mind can like a woman's mind, for example, can convince her that she's pregnant and actually have signs like and symptoms and everything, and also convince you that you're not pregnant, because I've known somebody that's gone full term a little bit past that, never even knew she was pregnant. People are like,
Yeah.
she was pregnant. You know what I mean? Like, went to the hospital thinking she was having a kidney stone, and out pops a 7-pound baby girl.
Yeah, I think that's
Like-
something to do with the mind, or that you talk yourself into it, or you're talking yourself out of it, or you just don't want to believe it.
So your mind is very powerful. So can your mind create what we call EVPs? Can your mind create
And then they come on the recorder.
I don't know.
That's a whole theory of it's our mental impressions that are put on and that's why digital works so well, because our brain puts that imprint on it. Even reel to reel or cassette is magnetic based.
But you know what though? I've tested this. I've tested this because I do think that works with a Ouija board, 1000%, because I have done it. I have barely been touching that thing, and I will answer the question in my head over and over again, and then I'm not really moving. I'm not like pushing it, but it does the answer that I'm thinking in my head. That's with the Ouija board. But when I'm investigating, I'll say, can you tell me what your name is? And if over and over again, I won't get an EVP. You know what I mean? And when I do get EVPs, I was not thinking like the answer, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't thinking. So here's an example. I was in Gettysburg. I was at the 20th Main Monument. And I wasn't even thinking about the main part. I was just like, I'm in Pennsylvania, right? So I'm like, are you from Pennsylvania? When I listen back on my recorder, I hear, no, Maine. And I was at the 20th Main Monument. Now, I was like totally shocked. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I forgot. I was at the 20th Main. So I wasn't even thinking about that part. I was more global, not where I was at the time. So for me, I was like, okay, well, that totally knocks off what I would think if I was really thinking, that's the answer I would want. You would have thought that it would say, it would have said, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't think experienced where I was doing an investigation and thinking of something, and then just pops on their recorder.
Yeah. No.
So, I don't know. I know pendulums are like that. I think you can.
I've also left a recorder because you know me. I always have like 25 hours of audio to go through because I leave out like 5 recorders. So I'll leave a recorder on the 3rd floor where nobody's at. It's like and then there'll be EVPs up there. And of course one could argue, oh, you picked up this sound, but no, a REM pod goes off and you hear, that was for you. You know what I mean? Like, there's just sometimes there's things that happen that come across a recorder where you can't really say that that's what that was. You know what I mean? Like, it's not your mind, Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what is it?
We don't know.
We could
Exactly.
go on
I
and
know.
on and on.
I know.
Poor Rich has been on here an hour.
I know.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, it's 9
Well,
o'clock.
we got him on about 7:45.
Well, Rich,
Oh,
I want to just tell you that you're one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life.
Yes,
And
I agree.
I just want you to know that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I have to say,
You're welcome.
thank you for your service.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
it's an honor and a blessing to be your friend and have you and Angel to have you guys in our lives because you're
What she said.
great people. You really are.
I
You're the
concur.
nicest, down to earth, honest. You wear
and
your heart on your
family.
sleeve. Yeah. So
I think your family, definitely.
just
For
want
sure.
you to know that.
And
I
I really
appreciate that.
appreciate
Thank you.
And I appreciate you coming on, and thank Angel for letting us have you for this long. Yeah, I'm sure she misses
Right.
you.
I will tell her that.
Send healing prayers to your mom.
Yeah.
I will. Thank you very much. Like I said, the miraculous thing is there's no deficits. She's home. They're going to work a little. They worked a little bit on her medication, and to go from a stroke on the left hand side of her brain and nothing wrong is
A miracle.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I was thinking about your mom, but I didn't want to say anything. But I'm glad because she was on your mind, and she was on your mind, so I could feel that. But it was about.
She
So
is.
I didn't want to. Yeah. So I didn't want to. I want you to get through that through the interview today, and So thank you so much for coming on and being with us.
Thank you.
We hope to see you soon.
Yeah, we do.
I hope so too.
Okay.
You folks have a great night.
You too.
You too.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Thank
Love
you.
you, Rich.
Love you.
Bye bye. Love you.
Bye-bye.
All right, so, he's gonna hang on, and then we'll just.
No, it's weird. He goes away. I don't know. But we
Is that an
froze.
eyeball?
I'm frozen.
I think so.
I'm freezing.
He's frozen on that side.
Is that an eyeball?
We're frozen. What happened? But that's not. We're frozen, but that's not.
I wasn't. That was weird.
Ew.
Oh!
What the hell was that?
What's going on?
Beth was moving, and we knew you weren't.
That was weird.
Are we here now?
We're here now. I think
He's a good guys but bad team. I don't get it.
he's a good guys, but bad team. LOL.
We.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh. Yeah. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much for
everybody
joining us. And
Yeah.
tomorrow is Halloween.
Happy Halloween,
Happy
everybody.
Halloween.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
And maybe next week. I don't know. I'm always available, but
Yeah, we'll let you know.
We got cases. I got cases. And I'm not sure what's going to happen. We'll see, though. Did you?
I don't know, my mom called me. I don't know if she wanted.
Somebody kept on calling there. You
I
get
know, it's my
calls.
mom.
Blah 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 blah.
Well, next week. I mean, it's not till 5:30, but I'm going to get certified in hypnotism.
Whoa.
Well, and it's needed. So then you can help people with anxiety.
it's not till 5:30.
It's over at 5:30.
Oh, over.
Yeah, and it's only Mount Laurel, so I could get here by.
Okay, cool. All right, so
That'll
then
be
we'll-
interesting.
Yes. So it's good for. All
Oh my
kinds
God,
of
we could
things.
do a brew hypnotize.
See if it works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That would be cool.
Guinea pig and make me a
Yes.
a
We can-
pig.
No,
we don't-
you guinea pig and make me not want to eat French fries.
Yes, you can do that. It's good for appetite or overeaters.
All right,
it's good
let's
for
do
smokers.
this.
It's good for anxiety. It's good for depression. It's good for stress. So,
Hi, Bill. Yeah. So,
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, we should do that.
So yeah.
You know what else I want to do? I want to do an episode one time where we could show people how to use some of this stuff.
Yeah, we could.
I was thinking about that when you were doing this. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, why don't we ever do anything like that?
Well,
Where-
because it's the brew. We can.
why? What is that? That's
I
not
don't know,
anything
it's
different.
paranormal. Yeah, like today we
We-
talked about.
We could get Taylor to come in and
Yeah.
she could do the bowls
Yeah.
too. She could
We
teach
could
the
do.
bowls.
Yeah, we could have a bowl meditation class.
Yeah,
Or you
why
can
not?
lay here. I mean, for Facebook, they can.
That's
all
what I'm
just-
saying.
It could be worldwide. Well, and just see if, we could do that and see if anyone wants to join us. You
Yeah.
have some bowl. We could play simultaneously.
Oh yeah, we can.
Because I actually have
Yeah.
10.
And then we could
Eleven.
put her to sleep.
Yeah, you could try
We
it.
we could pan over to Taryn and she'll be laying there.
Could try we could show people that kind of stuff. I think is cool. And
It
it
is
is
cool.
part of the
It's part of
paranormal world.
It is. It all intertwines.
Mhm.
We could do a healing thing on one of us or something. I mean, I don't know how personal those things get because I've never had it done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I could be the person to show that. You know what I mean? Because I'm
you
not
could
shy.
say how you felt because you never had a class, so it'll be perfect for you.
Yeah, so I mean, you could show how to do that, like, you know
And
what
we're
I mean?
still on. Hey.
Yeah, I know. What's
Yeah,
that
we can
say?
do that. Oops, I went off.
Two
sorry.
people tried to hypnotize me, and they couldn't.
Well, I believe that.
Some of your water.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm dying.
I know. Go
I
ahead.
don't know why.
I believe that, Sharon. Everybody can't be hypnotized, and that's okay. Just like everybody, I know people who have a crystal ball class and they have to run out of the room, so it's
Oh,
fine.
Sharon.
Oh yeah.
I thought
You
that was
know,
Bill
Like she
Friedman.
just put that thing on my head. I had
Yeah.
a headache, and I just
And that's
went,
fine. Not everybody
just
can.
went crazy.
Yeah, not everybody can be hypnotized, but those who can, it does help. But I agree.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us.
Thank you.
Hey, it's
And
bedtime.
Rich was awesome.
Yeah.
And hope to have him on again. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy hunting.
Happy hunting.
Happy haunting. Happy. We'll be back next week.
Good night.
Mwah.